What would a player need to actually interact with a game? Maybe it has something to do with this over here? Hello, everyone. My name is actually Frank, and I'm building my own game engine. Today I made a start on the input system, so let me show you what I actually did. What I made is this over here. So on update, we have a delta time. So the delta time is the time that has passed since the last update. And then you can do something like this. So if from the input system, this key is pressed, so I currently set it to arrow right, then we take the current angle of the player and we add the rotation speed multiplied by the delta time. So this will actually change the rotation of the player a little bit to the right. And let's see that in action. So when I press start, oh, there's an enemy, and I press the key on the right, we're actually turning. So this is quite powerful. So luckily, I always have Noah right next to me whenever I do some coding. She is usually pretty chill when I'm working, but sometimes she can be a devil and destroy the house. But she's super cute. I mean, just look at those eyes. I did the same thing, so let's undo some stuff here. I did the same thing for arrow left, so that we can also turn left. And I also did the same thing for arrow up. So when we press the up key, we'll actually move forward. So I made a little calculation where we look at the direction of the player. Let's also see that in action. So we can turn to the right, we can turn to the left, and we can move forward, as you can see. So this is already starting to look a little bit like a game. Now, let's dive a little bit in how I did this. So the input system is quite simple. Actually, on update, we check like, is this key pressed or not? And this is a little bit different than what you're used to if you're familiar with web development. So with web development, you actually listen to an event where you want to listen like, hey, if a key is pressed, tell me, do something. So this works a little bit differently, but underwater, it does the same thing. So this is the code, this is the input class. This class gets instantiated when the engine is started. We have a function that sets up the event listeners, and this is basically what it does. So it listens to, on the window, it adds an event listener, listens if key down is happening or key up is happening, and then we add it to an array of keys. So if I press A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, whatever key on the keyboard, it will be added to this list. And just do the same thing for mouse down, mouse up, and mouse move. So then we have the position of the mouse on the screen. So super easy, actually. Yeah, but the powerful part is that you can use this in the player controller to listen for events, that we can make something happen on the render loop. So I thought like, okay, let's try out some stuff. Let's see if we can actually instantiate some enemies. So I think this script looks really funny because what I did is we have the enemy spawner. We give it a starting position. So this is the position where the enemies will kind of spawn. And then when we go into the enemy spawner, I made a little script with, so yeah, if you're interested, pause the video and you can see what I did over here. But basically, I calculate kind of a radius of a field of enemies to spawn into. And then on a certain interval, so like every 10 seconds, oh, let's make this way faster. I think that looks funny. So every 100 milliseconds, we spawn 4 enemies, and they will all spawn on like a random location in a circle, and they will start flying in your screen. So this is actually what that looks like. We have the enemy. It has a position, and we give it some components. I made an enemy controller for it, and the enemy controller basically just moves it to a random position on the screen, and we give it a texture component with an egghead. So let's see what that looks like. Refresh this. Here we go. So I think this looks really funny. This is also a little bit of a stress test, but we kind of lost our player. It's somewhere around there, as you can see. But yeah, this shows you a little bit of the things you can currently do. I think this is amazing. And then after a certain amount of time, the game object gets removed from the scene.
Well, art. So we have a great start. We have a way to process keyboard input for the player. We have a way to process mouse input for the player. But I want to step it up a notch by adding some kind of interactivity. So have a look at this. I made a basic detection system. Those red squares that you see right now, those are colliders that if you click on them or if you drag them, you can listen to some kind of events that will happen at that point. So if we start the scene, you will see that the spaceship has a little red square behind it. So whenever I click on that red square, or actually within the red square, look, something will happen. I have actually have some interaction now, so I'm currently clicking on it, and it will get larger. So that's pretty cool. And I also made an on drag function. So I have the square over here, and if I drag it, then it actually listens to a drag event. So have a look at that. There are currently some bugs in it. Look, when I hover over the other spaceship, it will enlarge, and then only enlarge when I stop this. But hey, we got something to work. I think the scene looks really ugly right now, so I want to make it look a bit more interesting. I used a new image generation from OpenAI, and I asked for just a simple crate in pixel art, and I wanted it to remove the background, so it looks like this, and then I added it to the scene, so now it kind of looks like this. I don't know, it's still not so pretty, but now it is a bit more fun to look at. So you can drag this crate around in space. So that's something. We can even do this at the same time, so I can just move around. So move the crate. So we are actually getting the ability to make an actual game with this. If you truly made it all the way to the end of this video, then I want to thank you so much for watching. I'm really looking forward to this Sunday. Then they're gonna announce the team of the GameDev.js jam. Um, yeah, really looking forward to that. To use my game engine to make a game for that. And if you want to check out the jam yourself, I'll put the link in the description below. And yeah, have a great weekend all. Bye bye.